Alhamdulillah. I know you got this, they don't like this. Alhamdulillah. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna smash your boy, guys.
Who else is building gyms?
Everything
looking to build gyms around the world for free for underprivileged kids. Is Floyd Mayweather? Is John Jones working foundations to do that? Khabib is. Before the pandemic, they're going to open up
all kinds of charity stuff
in the UK. He's doing all those things. Who went out and helped all those kids build wells to bring drinking water and all that? Who? Khabib. And who is doing all these things? None of these other guys are. He is. So he is doing what I'm talking about. He's doing for the people. And then Floyd and John, they're doing some good things too, but they're not far and above what Khabib's doing. No way. No way. At least I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I mean, they're good guys. From what I see, they're good people. People love them. But the whole world doesn't see what I see. You know, they're seeing great athletes doing the humanitarian things. And, you know, Khabib's been instilled to be this way from a child, from his father. Yeah. So he's fulfilling his father's legacy, bro. So he's doing all those things, helping them because his father did it. His father, what I was told in their village, they have like the city where he lives, Mahakashala, and then the mountain village, and then there's another village. Well, his father saw the value in training martial arts that he sold like 10 or so of their cattle so he can build a gymnasium for the kids to train for free. And everybody thought that he was crazy. Like, why is he doing this? But that was his father's driven mission to give these kids an outlet, and they molded these kids. I mean, that man was a great man. And that's why Khabib is where he is, because his father instilled that in him as a young boy, and he grew up with that. He grew up, and then Khabib would get out of line. His dad would smack him. You know, he'd do something wrong. I mean, I remember one time Khabib told me that there's this one guy that picked on his cousin who was an older guy, and Khabib went and confronted this guy and beat the hell out of this guy for picking on his cousin. Yeah. Well, his father finds out that he did this, and guess what his father does? He beats the hell out of him. You know why? Because the guy was an elder. He was an older guy, and his dad beat Khabib because Khabib beat an older, and you're not supposed to do that. I mean, that's the kind of mentality, and that's the kind of upbringing he had. His father ruled with an iron fist, sturdy love, but he was disciplined, man. And Khabib that's what he's all about, you know, helping people, giving back, you know, and that's what he does. And whether he likes it or not, he is his father.
Firstly, I want to shout out to all my people from the area, Peppers. And also, I want to let you know, everyone, I woke up, I pissed the bed. Everyone's pissed the bed before. SJFTA. We keep on going. The Penny Panthers.
What the hell is this? A'udhu billah.
Sent me a text after the fight saying how disappointed he was in Gaethje, the way he threw his punches. They were sloppy. No, you're not seeing what created that. The greatness, the phenomena, the specialness. But I'm sure there's a lot of him that is seeing it the same way. Gee, why did he throw like this? Why did he throw like that? Why was he tired so fast? Well, because when you're in there with that unstoppable force, yeah, that's what I'm going to name it. He makes himself an unstoppable, immovable object. When you're in there with that, and that comes across to the other guy, you start, I'm not going to say panic. I'm not going to use that word. That's more for the civilians that don't have the training that Gaethje and these guys have. But you run too fast. You start running too fast to try to keep this immovable force off of you. This unstoppable force off of you. You start you start burning up, Ken. You're combusting too much energy, too much fuel. You don't mean to, but it's what happens. and you're running too fast. You're working too hard. You're working at a harder rate than your body can sustain to keep, because it's here too, to keep this immovable, unstoppable force from invading your soul. And so that's what took place. And that's why you see him tired. That's why you turn around on a 105-degree July day and you turn and you say, where'd the puddle go? You didn't see the waves.
To your point, it's like when you're watching a fight and the trainer is telling him, throw this jab, and the commentator's like, I don't know why he's not doing that. Well, he obviously thinks that when he does that, he's getting countered, or he's convinced himself he's going to get countered. And let's not forget, Gaethje looked like a killer.
You're right, the threat, the pressure, the infrared rays, they're hitting you all the time. Like almost like you have no say. You no longer have say in what's going to happen. Of course you do.
Yeah.
But it's like that's been taken away from you.
Yeah. And let's not forget, Gaethje looked awesome against Tony Ferguson, who's considered a super elite striker. So it's not like Gaethje became a different person in there. It was Khabib who made him into a different person and imposed his will on him, and it just forced Gaethje's whole game plan to change and went out the window.
Until you're in it, until you feel that heat. You know, it's kind of like you think that you felt the heat of stove until you felt the heat of a furnace. You know what I mean, Ken?
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about. Until you feel it for the first time, you don't know what it really is. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. That's what this podcast today is about. It ain't about Khabib just beat another guy. No, he beat a tremendous guy. But it ain't just about that he mounted the guy, he did this, his legs and all of that. Beautiful. But it's about this that his father was part of. And I'll finish it up by saying, I always say to you guys out there that the thing that is always consistent, always reliable, always there, paralleled with my sport, whether it's UFC, any form of fighting, any form of overcoming, any form of dealing with fear, any form of resistance, of challenge to your being, to your existence, any of that kind of threat, any of it, there's always going to be a need to overcome that, to be able to deal with that. But there's also going to be a component, a part of that is a special intelligence. How many times have you heard me say it, Ken, that when you're in this business, the mental part's the most important. And what these guys don't get enough credit for, that I always see and try to remind people of the parallels, the top guys are smart. It separates them. Yeah, they're tough. It's a prerequisite to this business, to the fighting business. It's a prerequisite to life. I hate to remind. News memo. You want to make it out there? Yeah, you go to school. Yeah, you get good marks. Yeah, but you better be tough. Somewhere along the line, you better be tough too. You better be able to take a punch in the nose, whether it's literally or figuratively. But you better be able to say, no, I'm not going away. I'm not going away. Yep. But all of these guys consistently that separate from just the tough guys are the ones that are smart too, under that kind of extreme environment, to be smart, to be able to think. And I always applaud them for that. That in my business, it's the guys like Salvador Sanchez who beat the great Indian Red Lopez years ago in the 80s, 70s. Well, I love Danny Red Lopez, Little Red Lopez. Loved him. Great puncher, tough, undefeated. He fought Salvador Sanchez. Sanchez destroyed him. They were both tough, but Sanchez was smarter, so it made him tougher. And you see the same things here. It's not just the physical strength and the quickness and the toughness, but the ability to be smart separates them. Khabib, smart, brilliant, genius, knows his technique. At the end, how does he finish? His quickness. Whoop! He gets on him, he mounts him, and next thing you know, he makes a move. He's got his legs wrapped around him, like you said at the beginning, like a python around his neck. Technique, smart, The right move at the right time. Calmness. The whole package. Smart. So smart. Oh, he's just a tough. He's an animal. No. No, please. Don't even let that come out of your mouth, not understanding what he really is. He's so much more. And the special ones are. And so he's got that asbestos suit that he wears that is able to hold off what he puts out, that if someone pushes it back to him, he can ward it off. He can repel it. He's got that development. And he's got the ability to put those rays, those ultraviolet, infrared, whatever you want to call them. They burn you up. They debilitate you. They evaporate you. And I want to say one other thing. I always use the word at the right times, supreme confidence. That's the definition. This guy's the definition of that, guys. I just want to make sure I said that to you. That Khabib was calm and controlled and sure, knowing what was going to happen because he wouldn't let anything else happen. Supreme confidence. That's what it means. And that's what it is. That's supreme confidence. Complete belief. The ones that Sugar Ray Robinson had, Muhammad Ali had it, the great ones have it. It's not something that everyone has. And in the end, yes, so strong on the mat and so quick to move and mount him. And let's not forget, also so smart, as I said, to use the proper, moves and technique to get to him. And then retire. You talk about strength. But how about that inner strength of character? To retire as his mom asked him to now, that his dad's no longer, obviously with him to help him. And finally, I want to say, this is what I was saying. I usually leave it, Ken, with the physical description and analysis of what took place, and the mental too. But this one, I want to leave it, I want to go somewhere else. I want to say that his dad did a great job. Not just as a trainer, the obvious, making a great champion, which of course he is, but in the way that he taught him and instilled in him the great principles and character it takes to be a real champion and how to carry yourself as a champion. Because if you don't feel like a champion inside, well, you can't act like one on the outside. All you need to know that his father accomplished that was really to hear him talk after the fight when he applauded his opponent and gave him the great credit that he did. Again, he was humble, yet he was proud and respectful. Everything a champion in anything should be. And a credit to his father who made him. We should have more fathers and sons and people like him. So I just want to say congratulations, good luck to him in his retirement. And his sons, I don't know if he has children, Ken, but if he's blessed enough and he wants to have children, his sons and whatever children he will have or has, they're also going to be champions. How could they not be when they're going to be taught by such a man who lives by such principles and such teachings? How can they not be? And you know what that means? It means we'll probably have some more UFC champs in the future, but more importantly, it'll mean that we have better human beings on this planet, and we need them. We need them even more than Dana White needs more UFC champions. Believe me, we do.